Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports.
Good
Big
evening.
fight
Good
tomorrow night
evening.
with Whyte and Alexander Povetkin. But before we get into anything, I have a special guest, a returning guest, a brother of mine. Without further ado, I bring back to the show and really returning guest, Tony Cesay.
Yes,
Cesay or Cesay? Let me get this right. For the final time, is this Cesay or Cesay?
it's Cesay.
Right. So why is one spelled with double S and the other one spelled with one S?
Yeah, it's still the same. Cesay. You know, they're the same.
Right. Okay. For those people who don't know who you are, and that's a shame on them, they don't know. Let man and woman know who you are.
Just the community man who loves supporting young people. You know, a boxing coach. I boxed for many years for Repton in England. So yeah, I love amateur boxing. You know, I love
You
boxing.
you're always very modest about the sort of people you've worked with and currently working with. I don't know why that is.
Oh no, it's just that I love working with them. So some of the times they just don't want to be, named, and it's that sort of thing in the community. You just get on with it. You get on with, you just do it. You don't hang around for cameras. You don't hang around for TV and newspapers. You just do it, and that's all I've ever done. And that's why I think you get to know what the young people want, because you're always there with them. You share things. They even make me look younger. Look at me. I look 27. You know.
You look younger than that. Partially
Oh,
20.
that's even good. That's why I like you. I like you.
To be fair, I'm not always liked because I ask the question that people want the answers to, but generally the guests don't like the questions being asked. But you know how it goes.
Yeah, no, that's all right. You've got to now when you're doing things like this, you tell them how it is. You tell them the truth, and and that's what it's all about. You bring people, because what I do, I don't talk about it. I do it. So you got doers and you got talkers. I'm a doer. So I saw that there's young people needed something to be done with, because of the mental health and everything else in our communities. So I knew that because everything was shut down, I built a gym. So, like I said, I do it. I don't think about it. I don't say, "Oh, what should I do?" I know what I'm gonna do, because I sit there in the park, and I sit there in my garden. I sit there in my armchair, live in my living room, and I think, "Wow, this is what I need to do," because then I know I'm gonna get some young people. I'm gonna save a lot of young people, from going on road, because that's what's happening to our young people because of everything shut. This is what's happening. I had,
Yeah.
I had a thing yesterday, not yesterday, a couple of days ago, where a young woman killed her baby because the baby was disabled. It had disability problems, and because she had help all the time with the baby, and all of a sudden the lockdown came, and there was no help. So she went into a state and she killed the baby, because there was no help no more. And that's what helped me. That's what made me really think about why I should build a gym. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do it. Something happened before that, but then when this happened, I said, right, I'm gonna build a boxing gym. So it didn't take me. It took me like 2 weeks, bang, and that was it.
So wait, are you in the gym at the moment?
I'm in the gym right now. I can
Give
show
me a show
you.
around then.
These are
Show me
my
what it's
these are
about.
my pictures. These are my pictures from
Well, you
the
might,
World
you might,
Championship days
you might,
when I
you
was
might want to
boxing
take that picture
America.
down. You might want to take that picture down because I hear a rumor that Oscar De La Hoya is coming back at 44 years old or 41 years old. He's coming back.
They're all coming back because they're all coming on the Tyson thing. They're all getting promoted by him. He's making more money than anything. Making more money than Don King. That hair with the horns in that hair.
Hey, yo, I'm going there. I'm getting there. I'm trying to get there, you see?
So you ain't got horns in your hair.
No, I've got horns in my hair. Not yet.
No.
But if I get deep into boxing, I might just grow some horns.
That's it. So these are all the people these are all the gloves that some were donated to certain fighters, good fighters. You know, there's some pictures of all the stars who used to box with me many years ago. You know, and then there's another one, a good friend of mine, Ricky Hatton, got this when he fought Pacquiao. You know, I've got some of the boys here, you know, who fight for me. And like I say, always on this one here, may the sun always shine on you. That was my motto for every kid in the area.
Wow.
And then you've got Steve Collins. I got this off of him, got it signed, because what Steve was like a good friend of mine, still is, you know. And I've got Anthony Yardi, who I trained as a youngster. Good Colin McMillan, who's always supported me, you know. So I've got all my idols here, and there's UMAR SADIQ there to be champ soon. And then this is the Wall of Fame. It's going to be all along here. So there'll be more world champions.
Hold a second. Wait. There's one picture there that's missing.
That's your picture.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You see, I knew you were smart, man.
I haven't seen you. I haven't seen you yet. So soon as
don't come when you ain't seen me. You've seen me before. Don't say you ain't seen me before, bruv. Don't try you ain't seen me before, because you've seen me before.
Yeah, your picture will be here, because they have to see you. They all have to see you.
I'm coming down to the gym, and I'm coming down to the gym.
Come, because you know you won't believe what I've done. I've created a ring from outside, so they can go and I've got the wilderness, the trees as a ring. So we've got about 2-3 rings. You know, one box, that one which you can pull apart, and then I've got one as I use with the trees, and I just put the rope around the trees and the mats, and we've got a ring. But where you now?
So wait, how many people can you hold? How many people can you hold in that space?
Oh, in this space here now, I can have about 5 people in here, and then I've got outside. So look, if I show you outside, then outside here now, I've got all my stuff here, and I've got another bag here. See?
Okay.
And then from out here, look at how big my garden is. See?
Dang.
See? I've got a bag. I've got another bag here. See my bag here?
Yo. Hey, you can
you
go cricket match in that garden.
So I use the wilderness. I use that wilderness. See? So here, these are my ring. These are the 4 trees that I use. So I got this one, and this one, and this one.
Bruv, that don't look like a garden. That looks like a park.
Again, on this one, then we use that one over here.
Whose park are you violating?
I put the caged ring, the box ring. See, and then we've got all our running in the big park area here for the community.
Okay.
So, and that's what you design, because that's what the nature is there. When things like this happen, epidemics like this happen, you've got to transform yourself. You've got to think out the box and start delivering, and that's what it's all about. And these are the young people that come. You've got a good person there, Daniel. He's one of the youngsters who's coming. You've got Mo, who's here, and you've got Ibs. You know, Ibs is
your screen's broken. There you go. Your free scrolls. Hello, mate. How we doing? Good evening. How we doing?
And you've got all these guys here which come, and the others have gone running now. See, but you have to do something. You have to try and inspire them, because if they see you delivering, they will deliver.
Yes. That's amazing. And so hey, wait. When you get
and that's just me thinking, okay, what can I do for my young people in the community? So, because there's no gyms open, boxing is the last thing, because they can't control the boxing side of it. You know, it's hard. You know, when you
get your MBE, when you get your MBE or your OBE, it's long overdue, isn't it?
Oh, I don't need that.
Yeah, right.
I had so many awards in my lifetime. Yeah, it's unbelievable. So all I do, that's why I keep quiet now. See, and just do it, and just do it. Don't talk about it. Just do it. See, it's not worth talking about these things. Yeah, you can talk about these things all day long. What you got to do is bring the people to the community. So instead of me talking about it on TV and all this business, I rather bring the TV people here to see and show them that this is what our kids need. This is what my community needs. These are what our young people need. See, it's no because you're only profiling yourself. Do you understand? It's not
Of
about
course,
me.
brother.
I've boxed and I've showed you all the great people I've met in boxing throughout the world. All the world I've traveled the world through boxing, and boxing's helped me to do that. So at the end of the day, I've got to give something back, and the way you give something back is to try and develop young champions like Anthony Yard, Umar Sadiq, OHARA Davis, all these young people came through the community system.
Of course.
You've got
Thank
you've
you.
got you've got you've got to give them something to say that they can deliver. They can be successful. It's all about their
Absolutely.
success.
Absolutely. Now, I don't really want to. Well, I have to go through this point because we spoke the last time we did an interview. Obviously, you and OHARA Davis were in the gym working out. That was the last time we spoke. So I don't want to go over it too much. But what exactly happened? Because 1 minute I saw that you were going into this golden contract. You and him were training.
Yeah, no, I mean that's how it is. Just some things happen in life. No, nothing. It's just you can't work. If you can't work with certain people,
It's as simple as that.
say
That's what
again.
happened. You just couldn't work. You couldn't work with him. That's all it
Yeah,
was.
simple as that. I still see when you have a kid, you discipline the kid, and the kid don't want to listen. The kid, you've got to send them on their way. Let them live life themselves. You still love them. You still dedicate everything for them and wish them the best. But that's it. You got to, because you got to remember you got other children you got to look after. They need that. Now he's grown. Now, if he knows what to do now. He's grown. He's not 14 years no more. He's not 18. He's a grown man now. So he can go and run around and do what he needs to do for himself now. But I've got others. I've got others who love what I do and relish my knowledge. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Want to hear that, want to feel that. So some people don't. They get enough of it. I think they have enough of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about Umar Sadiq. Obviously, that's somebody that you are working with.
Yeah, Umar's doing very well. He's there. He's training hard and he's getting better and stronger. So he's had this fight with LeRon Richards. Well, and LeRon is a very good, dedicated, good kid. He's a Repton boy. They're both Repton boys from years back. So I know them both, So very good, educated kids they are. So very clever. And you both have to now fight as professionals. And that's what it is. And that's the game. You've got to box the best. And coming up, young people, they're the best. So they have to meet each other down the line.
So
I often coach my boy Umar. So I feel that Umar has the skill factor and the wow factor to stop him.
okay, I know that there's a lot of talk about LeRon, and people say about him being a secret and being very good, and there's been lots of plaudits about him. What's your take on it?
Oh, he's one of them special kids you took off the street, and he changed his life. He did it, through my club OMINBUS. We went and travelled through the countries to get him fights, and he did it. He was in courtrooms. From courtrooms, he was in the gym, boxing rings. He changed his life, and not only that, he's one of the loyalist kids you could ever find. All the times that I was going through, hardship with the club, that boy there was giving young people money and opportunity. where he didn't have money himself. He was working, had a good job, and he left a good job to become a boxer. You know, a good job. You know, he's an accountant. So you can imagine the money that you can get and the money he's getting now, which is nothing, and the money that he would have had. You know, and when he was an accountant, he was giving the club and looking after the kids because he knew that he was once in that same position. And you've got people like that and kids like that who really think about other people, and he does. That's why he's special. That's why I've more or less said I will be a pro coach to come and help these kids, these young people who used to box for me. Now they want to turn pro and get the best. And so for me, I just want to try and develop him to be a champion and build a world champion out of one of the boys who used to box for our club, OMINBUS, because that will send our club into another atmosphere.
So what's the arrangement? You just train?
Yeah, that's how special he is, because you know he gives back. You've got a lot of kids who box for me and not even give me a fiver. Do you understand? I've always spent on them, you know, which is fantastic, because that's what you do. You don't spend to receive. Do you understand? You spend, but when you get something back and somebody appreciates, that's more than anything, isn't it?
Yeah,
more than gold, because that person really has appreciated you. You know, he's appreciated you. That love for you, he has got. See, and this is why I do everything I can to make him the best. You know, and I make it hard for him. I don't make it easy for him. You know, I the same way I would have done it as an amateur, but he's a pro, so you have to do things a little bit different. You have to, you know, put your hand around them a little bit more, you know, and because, you know, some of them are not as strong as they think they are.
What have you done to make the improvements on UMAR since obviously his first professional defeat? What have you done since then?
I think UMAR with improvements that you will see as he comes, because he's got stronger with his body, his punching, his own himself, you know, his mental state of himself.
We've just lost Tony Cesay there. I don't know if that's... he's back again. Tony, you there?
So sorry, someone's trying to ring me.
Okay. Always the case.
So what he does, his own self, he's improved himself as a man, you know, as a person. As a person, see. So what he does is that he knows now that it's a business, and how he applies himself. He applies himself the same way as he applies himself as as his job. So he's very businessman, you know, business wise. So I think they take him very seriously, because he knows how to conduct himself in the right way, right manner. So with myself, I haven't got to talk for him. So you've got a lot of people who have managers and coaches and who have to talk for their boxers. I haven't got to talk about for my boxer, because he has that right mindset, you know. So that's where you know he's so clever. He's, you know, and I always knew he was that clever. That's why I wanted him to do this game, because it changed him from being someone on road and wanting to go to jail. You know, it's a different path. Different path. He's a different person. Now, you know, he's a businessman, he's a respected boxer, and he's changed his life. But now there's more for his life to be changed, because he wants to earn that big money. He wants to be at that big time.
Do you ever get upset or resentful when you find fighters turn their back on you, when they become a big time Charlie or anything like that?
No, because you know what? This game is so small. Do you understand? In the sense of, you know, if you're a person which don't respect somebody, this game, it's only a few years and then it's over. And when it's over, all them people who you were not good to, or you were an arsehole to, what happens is that people don't forget that. So you're left out in the wilderness. See, with boxing, it's a fickle thing, you know. So you can be, you know, an arsehole to people and say things, but then when boxing is finished, that's it for you. You're finished. But if you're a nice person in boxing, they'll give you everything. People will always command to see you, command to see you again and again. They'll make something of you, and they'll put you on that pedestal again because you was a nice person. You was somebody, you did something to somebody. Understand? So, and that's what I live on, and I know that. So, what I do for people, I don't do it because I've given over. I've given so much money into boxing and people.
Just losing Tony Cesay on it here.
Have good love. Oh, I'm singing while you come back.
Entertainment.
So like I said. Yeah. I'm singing while you're coming back.
Sounds good. Now, just to wrap things up, because we haven't got much time. When is Umar fighting next? Do you have any news yet of when he could be fighting next?
Oh, we're not sure yet. There's certain things which are happening, so we should know. You know, I'll call you again and tell you. But there's things that he could be fighting in Russia. You know, on the 11th, he's still got that fight with LeBron Richards. So you know, LeBron, they offered it to LeBron. LeBron didn't want it, so Umar took it because it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity there to say, I'm better. I'm not fearful. I'm not fearful. I will go to Russia and I will stop this guy because he has to. He can't go to Russia and think he's going to get a points decision.
So wait, the fight in Russia. Who's the fight against and what's it for?
I forgot the fella. I forgot the gentleman's name. You know, but he was a what's his name? Bloody hell.
Is it for a belt?
Who knows Umar's opponent in Russia? Oh, no one. Yeah, Valitov. Chadwell. No one can remember Chadanoff or something like that.
Okay. Does he have a belt? Does he have a belt? I want me to go into Russia.
It's a WBA gold.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. So it's a statement for him. As you know, I don't worry about no other boxer. I just worry about my boxer, you know,
of course.
Who we got to look after. So,
okay, very quickly before we end, your thoughts on Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin.
Oh, Dylan should stop him. You know, he's got better and better, and it's a shame that the other coach is not with him at the moment. You know, but let's see what this is all about. See, you know, if the other coaches can bring him to another level, because that's what he needs.
Do you know anything? Do you know Xavier Miller at all? Have you met with him? Have you spoken to him before?
Yes. I've met him before. I've met him a few times, you know, but I don't know him as a coach. You know what I mean? I know him that he was a good amateur. You know, he's a good amateur, but pro coach and amateur coach do different things, isn't it? You know, so you've got and I think what they did to put Dave with him to help him was a great thing. Was fantastic because you know I think Dylan is going to win anyway. So with that, they'll give him another status there to say this is what I've done in the pro game.
But then the question I would say is, why would you do it the week of the fight? Why not have Coldwell there a week before the fight, fly him into camp, and have him looking over things?
Yeah.
Or does that not necessary?
Why would you make the change?
Why would you make the change then? Why not bring that change in earlier?
I don't know. This is what I'm flabbergasted about, because if they knew that he had this opponent from, you know, a few months back, and the other coach, because they wouldn't have done it with the other coach. The
Mark
other
Tibbs. Mark Tibbs.
No, they wouldn't have done it with Mark. So at the end of the day, why have they done it with this fella to say what they're trying to say? That, you know, he's not experienced enough, or he's not, you know, and he's done a few. He had a few pros with him, but I don't think what they're comfortable with is the big time, the big shows. So I don't know what it is, but for me, I would have just left him and let him carry on. You know, having eyes there and having people, you know, it still tells him and shows him that you're not solely in charge.
Yeah.
You're not,
even if you're head coach,
you're not calling all the shots. You understand? So,
and then you've got Colwell, who is
they say that
Colwell's more experienced.
Who?
Colwell's more experienced than Xavier.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So
that's like, you're a head coach. You're a head coach, but how can you? It's like me being, I don't know, I'm a sergeant and I got a colonel in the corner. Do you understand?
That's right. That's right.
And I'm saying, sergeant, I'm in control, but colonel's coming in through the door.
But you know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so it is what it is. They decided that because, you know, but I think anyway, they didn't really need to do that because, you know, Povetkin is finished. You know what I mean? He's not like, you know, somebody who's, you know, who can really do something, you know. I think that, you know, you've got someone there who he can stop, and I think he will. I think he will stop him. I think he will stop him. You know, he's got all the attributes. He's got the power now. He's got the movement. So Dylan, he's getting better and better all the time. So, you know, I think they didn't have to bring in Dave, because what's Dave gonna say if he's getting beat up? What you know, he can't save him. Dave's not going to be able to say, you know, do this. What? And Xavier couldn't say the same thing. You know, he could. So, what I think, you know, I think he would want on there. It was a good choice. Like I said, if they feel that they didn't feel comfortable, you know, with him there.
Interesting, very interesting.
If for me, I would have just left him and let him learn. That's how you learn. That's how you develop. You go through them big times, them big matches, and then if he wins, he's a big coach now. You know what I mean? But he ain't gonna be that big coach because you've got someone who is overseeing him.
Yeah.
They're always gonna say Dave was there, Mr. Caldwell was there. See, so it's a, you know, a thing, you know, good idea for their camp, but for Xavier, you know, it wouldn't have been such a good idea for him, I don't think, you know. But
psychologically, for Povetkin, does that give him any advantages, knowing that their camp isn't as tight as it should be?
Say that again.
Psychologically, does that give Povetkin any sort of mental such win mentally? Because he's like, you know, my camp's together. I don't need anyone else coming in at the last minute. Everything's together. Whyte's camp isn't so secure because
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. What I think is that, you know, when a fighter's gone, it's gone. You know, it'll give 3 or 5 good rounds, and then, you know, the story. You know, murder she wrote. That'll be it. That'll be it. I'm telling you, because, you know, like I said, Dylan's getting better and he's getting stronger. He needs better. You know, he need a better opponent, and they are. They're giving him the right matches, I think, bit by bit, and then they're developing him the right way. He's had to wait, And now, you know, he's waited now. He's delivered. I think I think it's been the best possible choice doing it that way, you know, because he's come up quick. But and he wants to go in there. Every fighter wants to go in there and fight the best because he's that confident in himself. He's got that all that swagger, you know, about himself to say yes, I can do it. And that's, you can't beat nobody. Whoever's got confidence, like, you can't tell him not to do that. You just let him get on with it, you know, and then see what happens if he ends up, you know, on the floor. He won't care. He'll come back again.
Yeah,
that's the sort of attitude he has. See?
Yeah,
So he'll be around for a long time. Believe me, win or lose.
All right, Tony, we're gonna have to leave it there. But thank you so much. Is there anything you'd like to say before we close the show off?
Oh no, just everybody out there, you know, be good with each other, and we're in these tough times, and just love people, because we're all human, and that's where we're all created the same. We're just different melanin here and there. That's why we're this color, because we were from the sun, and the Europeans, after the Ice Age, moved into Europe and they got lighter. That's it. But we're brothers and sisters, right? You know, that's where we all came from, the same human race. That's what it is. And that's why I've got on this jumper, you know, it's all in pursuit. In pursuit. One race, the human race. They never knew. They never know what I have on my. They've never read it. I've got one hand, one black hand, one white hand, and they always look. But now with these times, I'm gonna get people buying this T-shirt, because this T-shirt here means omnibus. Omnibus means togetherness, and I've been saying this for many years. Now look at these times now. That's what we need. Omnibus, togetherness. See, and this is why I put this organization together many years ago. And now look at the times now. Now we're shining. We've got a gym here for the kids, for the community, you know, and we've got boxers out there who box for this wonderful club, which is out there now doing wonders. And it's only people like myself, good people like myself, who help put things together. I have, you know, lovely people who, Dennis and lovely young ladies who put themselves out for my club and for the young people. You know, Jenny, who does work in schools, but she comes in and helps to coach the kids. She helps the coaches everywhere. Beautiful. But, you know, people like that know the support that these young people need. And that's what it's all about. There's one race, and that's the human race.
Beautiful, beautifully said. Tony Cesay, as always, thank you so much for talking to BWTM.
Take care. God bless you.
Take care, champ. All the best. Thank you once again.
You too.
Take care. Bye-bye. Don't forget to join us in less than 10 minutes. We'll be talking to Gail Falkenthal, good friend of us, good friend from the show, from the States, directly from California. She is a regular now on TMZ, and we're fortunate to have her back on the show again to talk boxing, American boxing, UK boxing, and maybe she'll have some tasting news as well. So she's a professional boxing journalist, and I'm really looking forward to having her back on the show. So see you in 10 minutes back here, right here on BWTN Sports. Don't go anywhere.